past 12 jobs I've pitched, I got all 12.
If you're somebody who has a digital skill like copywriting, graphic designing, web development, and all of that, then you're going to find this episode very interesting. Here's why. In this episode, I sit down with Messiah Ekaette, who has done well over $50,000 selling his skills to foreign clients. What do we do on this episode? On this episode, what we do is we have a deep dive and we discuss everything freelancing and Upwork, from how to get started, to how to get your first clients, to how to pitch properly. In fact, Messiah shares his secret pitch strategy that gets him the gig even after he has seen over 100 applications under offer.
There were over 100 pitches on this job. They hired only 3 people and 2 pitched the way I pitched, right? And out of the 3 people they hired me, they hired the girl I pitched for, and then they hired somebody else from the Philippines.
There are a lot of lessons to glean from this. There are a lot of strategies to glean from this, but you have to make sure you're seated back, you're relaxed, you have your notepad and your pen, and you're ready to learn. With that said, make sure you subscribe to this channel because there's a lot more coming your way, and let's get into the show. All right, guys, welcome to another episode of the Entrepreneurs Connect show. I'm super excited because this is a part 2 of our last episode. So last time we had Messiah Ekaette here over, and we started discussing about his journey into freelancing, making money, and all that. And today we are going to go a bit deeper. So today we're going to talk everything freelancing, Upwork, how to get started, how to make money, how to navigate your way through the ins and outs from someone who has obviously been doing it for years. Okay, super excited for this. Welcome, Messiah. Thank you for deciding to do this again. Grateful.
You're welcome.
All right, let's get right into it. Today there are not too many stories. We've had all the stories from the last episode, from you selling pigeon, to selling iron, to doing all of that. So let's talk Upwork today. Tell me about your journey into Upwork. What was it like when you started?
So I joined Upwork, that was November 2020.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's this November now, that'll make like 3 years.
3 years. Oh, nice.
Yeah. And I think the first time I pitched, I think it took 13 pitches to get my first job.
13 pitches?
Yeah, 13 pitches. And you know this stuff about Upwork Connect. So my Connect literally like finished my last 13th pitch, which I think I said the year before. So yeah, but since then, from when I started, I became top rated, I think 2021. Yeah, I became top rated 2021, and then last year I became top rated plus. Now top rated plus is where you have one client who pays you $10,000.
How about top rated?
Then top rated, I think you need maybe one client to pay you $1,000 or something.
Oh, so once one client pays you $1,000,
single client, yeah.
Then
if you rent $5,000, it doesn't matter. If one client pays you $1,000, yeah, top rated, and then one client pays you $10,000, that makes you top rated plus.
Good. So someone watching this now wants to get into freelancing, Upwork, and all that. Yeah. What should they know to get started?
Well, first you have a skill.
Yeah.
First, and then.
So can you break down the concept of freelancing for a bit?
Okay, freelancing more or less is, in my opinion, I'll just say virtual working. It's where anything you can do on a laptop, any skill you can do on a laptop, if it's graphics designing, if it's video editing, if it's writing, doesn't matter what type of writing it is, copyright, as long as it's something that you can do on a laptop, even though you're doing it in an office here in Nigeria, but as long as you don't need to. As long as it's something you can do on a laptop, then, then that, in my opinion, then that's freelancing. Okay. You can even do accounting as a freelancer. You can be somebody's PA as a freelancer called virtual assistant. Yeah. So, but then this way you work in your house from the comfort of your own home, and then you work for companies no matter where they are, in the US, in the UK, Canada.
So the concept of freelancing is that you're not tied to one boss.
Yeah, exactly.
So you have the ability to work for different people across different regions of the world.
Yeah, and then you command your own price, which is very important.
And the paramount thing is that you have to have a skill.
You have to have a skill.
So there is no freelancing without first skilling up.
There's no freelancing without first skilling up.
What do you think are the top skills in demand on these freelance platforms at the moment?
Right now, I think anything designing generally. If it's web designing, graphics designing, UI, UX, those pay really well. And then when you go into writing, you start with technical writing, copywriting first, honestly. Technical writing, ghost writing, down the way. And then I think right now I've been seeing more etiquette sales appointments, etiquette closing, etiquette setters jobs. So I think that's also, for freelancing. Then we also, virtual assistants don't pay as well. But but then mostly people enter through virtual assistant and then go into something else. Would be CSR, customer service representatives, go into something else. But right now the top skills are anything web designing, web developing, AI, AI prompt engineering is also something I've been seeing recently. Then marketing, copywriting, sales. Marketing and sales are actually one of the top also. So those are like the top skills right now.
Beautiful. So to getting on these freelance platforms, first you have to have a skill. When you have a skill, what next? So
when you have a skill, create your portfolio, right? You don't need to, the truth is you don't need to work for people yet to have a portfolio. If you're a graphics designer, then just design anything. Design a logo for yourself. Design a, I don't know, I'm a graphic designer.
Exactly. I mean, I can totally relate because I started out as a graphic designer. So what I used to do back then is I just used to replicate designs. I'll go on Google, I'll say designer, I'll bring it back, I'll replicate it, I'll try to do my own. I kept like doing, and the fun thing about it, I do it, I post online, Exactly. So it kind of created the awareness that I was a designer. So if you ask me if I have a portfolio, I can readily bring out things I've done before, and I think it applies to like everywhere industry. You're a copywriter, go on write like 5 different samples, take sample products and just do something here. So when you have you build your portfolio.
So when you have your skill, you build your portfolio just to show that okay, yes, I can do this thing. And then the next thing I think would be to just go on the platform, register on platform. Either you're using Upwork, you're using Fiverr, you're using people per hour. I think I have a friend who gets paid through people per hour. Then when you go on these platforms, the next thing you do is you create your account. And then you just start pitching. Now the good thing about Upwork is they bring the jobs to you. So you see, like if you open Upwork now, you see plenty jobs. They need copywriter, they put the price in, they put everything. They bring the jobs. All you have to do is pitch. Then the difference between Fiverr is you have to create a project, and then somebody who wants to hire for that project hires you. So you go on Upwork, you pitch for jobs. I think, like I said, my 13th job got me my 13th pitch, my 13th proposal got me my first job. And then I think one thing I would say is don't use templated pitches.
Oh, so when people want to pitch, they just go on Google and search for Upwork pitch templates, and then they just take it and so start with their hiring manager. Yeah, exactly. You're not speaking to robots. They're human beings. They are not gods either. They are just like you, exactly. Because that was what I did. I went online, copied different templates. I just started replicating. And I think it was after my 10th proposal, 10th pitch, I was like, okay, so I have to do something different. So what I did was I made it more personalized. I did research. I checked into the client posted the job. I actually went outside and checked, okay, who is this client? Who is this company? And then I showed the person that, okay, yes, I'm not just here for me, I'm here for you. Which I think is very important. Can you break that down? Now, it's easy to say, but how do you show somebody that I'm not just here for me, I'm here for you? What's the process like?
Okay, so now this is not how I started. This is not exactly how I started, but then after years of refinement, let me just give you the exact way I pitch. Now, the first thing I do when I pitch for a job is I check for the client's name. Now, most times you never see the client's full name, you never see the client's company. Mostly what you see is the client's first name and where the client is. So what I do is I go online, I put in that first name. Now let's say the person says, maybe they usually start their stuff, say maybe I run an e-commerce store, or I run a B2B blah 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 company, or I run an apparel store. So all I just do is put in the person's first name, put in the state or the where the person, the location, and then put in maybe apparel store. And then when you have it so like down on Google, on Google, just go share it on Google, and then next you probably get like maybe 3, 4, 5 people who maybe run an apparel store, work in an apparel store, blah blah, and then I check the job post, what this person says he needs, or you understand, based on the job post I just use my intuition. I'll be like, okay, maybe this is the person.
Yeah.
I mean, which is mostly very easy, to be very honest, because mostly you might see maybe this person is a CEO, this person is a marketer, blah blah, but then they have the same name, but then I run an apparel store, so he's a founder. Then after I get that, then what I do is I personalize it. I personalize my message. So let's say, let me say for example, the person's company just got an achievement or whatever. That's exactly how I start my pitches. So I say, hi, name, maybe congrats on your blah blah blah, or I noticed on LinkedIn that this November marked your 30th anniversary running company.
Nice.
It's very, very simple, and then it's taking like 5 minutes tops. You understand? It's taking like 5 minutes tops, but then after I do that, what I do is I will not really say I won't spend much time. My pitches are not very long. They are like pretty simple, short, but then I always start with personalization. Then the second paragraph is me telling you, okay, I can do what you want. Maybe either because I've done it before, or because maybe this is my portfolio. Let's say for example, after that first, let's say you're new, right? You're just a freelancer.
Yeah.
And this is exactly how I would pitch. Now, after your first paragraph is the personalization. Let's say I noticed this November mark your 10th year running company name. Happy anniversary.
Yeah.
I used to say happy work anniversary, which is just for fun. And then the next the next paragraph, I would say I attached a document, or I attached a PDF document to this proposal showing and then I'll say exactly that it has to be related to what the client wants, obviously. Something I have done related to what the client wants, even though it's not for a company, you understand, even though it's just, you understand, I just came up with it. And then I say that, and then I can just end it with, please check it out and let me know what you think. I look forward to working with you. And that's all.
That's
as simple as that, you understand. But then just because of that extra effort of personalization, that, you understand,
it gets you noticed.
Exactly, gets you noticed. So what happens is, and then I drop the stuff, and then what I do is I now go on LinkedIn, which your LinkedIn profile has to be optimized if you're a freelancer. So I go on LinkedIn.
What does it mean for your LinkedIn profile to be optimized?
That's your if you check out Messiah Ekaette on LinkedIn, you see it's professional headshot. Okay. You see the cover photo really does it just has to be something that it just reflects what you're doing. Exactly. Then maybe your best work, your featured post, your whatever, just put it on your best. If you're a designer, maybe the best logos you've designed, whatever,
put it on your
featured post. Exactly. You don't even need to post often. And then put your experience, your work experience, then put your school, your education, just those basic things. And then when the about section, which is the bio section, where you talk about yourself, just be you, be expressive. Don't say Messiah is a copywriter who is I don't know, whatever exactly boring stuff. Yeah, I hate it. Like, for example, for me now, I think if you check Messiah Ekaette on LinkedIn, I think my first stuff is one thing, maybe I do one thing really well, or something like that. It's just be yourself, honestly. And then I called testimonial love stories. I call them love stories because it's very long, it's like blog. So I say these are the love stories for my clients, that sort of thing, exactly. And it's pretty simple, but it's pretty nice. So make sure your LinkedIn is optimized, because that is the only way they will take you serious. If you don't have a DP on your LinkedIn, or if you have I don't know, maybe picture from that you typically post on Facebook. Facebook is very, very casual. LinkedIn is very
professional.
It's very professional, exactly. So it has to be professional headshots. Then I reach out to the client on LinkedIn. I send a personalized invite. Now you can either just connect with a client, or you can send a personalized invite. Now when I send a personalized invite, I say, because you have like 300 characters, so I say hi name. I put the exact same personalization that I put in my stuff. I don't even say go and check myself. I just say looking forward to connecting with you, or something like that. You understand? Cheers, Messiah, and that's it. But then when they see my name on Upwork and they say, okay, this person personalized this stuff, and then they get a notification, a LinkedIn notification. You understand? You're like, okay. And then, to be honest, sometimes if I can get their emails, I send them email. If I can go on IG.
What is in the email that you sent to them? Exactly the same thing? Almost
exactly the same thing. I just
what's the twist?
I think the only thing is, like for LinkedIn now, I don't pitch, but on the email I pitch.
Okay.
You understand? So I just, maybe I put this exact same personalization, and then I'll say something like, I just submitted a proposal on Upwork, pitching for your job, blah 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 blah. And then that one I don't even attach anything. Because
do you use like a Gmail to do it?
You can use your Gmail. I know there are people I have mentored who use Gmail.
What do you use?
Personally, I have a business mail.
Oh, okay. So it's like Messiah Arts, blah blah blah.
Exactly. And the crazy thing is, with as simple as 4,000 naira, you can create a business. You can buy a domain for 1 year.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then maybe pay for name cheap hosting.
Yeah,
very,
around
cheap
Cube.
hosting. Exactly.
And all that.
And then you have maybe Messiah dot maybe XYZ or .net or you understand sort of thing exactly. So you can just create an email like that and then run it through Namecheap or something or cheap stuff like that. And then
by the way, if you're looking to buy a domain name on Namecheap, there is a link in the description of this video. I went through like step by step how you can get a domain name on Namecheap, so you could go find that as well. Let's go ahead.
So exactly, you get your domain, you get your hosting, because the reason why you want to do that is because that makes you seem more professional. Understand? If you send it from a personal at gmail.com, now that might work. Understand? But it's if you want to be taken serious, then you have to take yourself seriously. That's just the whole thing. Exactly. So if you take yourself seriously, send them an email. Then at the email, I don't attach anything because sometimes you notice when you attach, it doesn't get delivered. It enters spam or something. Exactly. So I don't attach. I just say please blah blah, and then I'm reaching out here just to show you how bad I want this. I'm reaching out here just to show you how bad I want this, and then blah blah.
Doesn't that make you sound desperate?
Not really. So yeah, but I just tell them, okay, I want this job. You understand? And let me know when you're ready to give it to me. So to be very honest, sometimes I'm very there's a word a client used for me once. I've forgotten what it is. Well, it shows where you are spunk. Where you show spunk. Yeah, that's the word. You show spunk where you are confident in yourself and you're like, okay, see, if you hire anybody else, you're making a mistake, and I'll put it out there to you. Anybody else you hire won't do it as good as I did. Why? Because number one is I'm sure they are not putting in this effort that I'm putting in. And this effort I'm putting in is not ending here. It's going to continue even when I'm working with you. And you need somebody who will treat your business like it's mine. That sort of thing, exactly. And I'm pretty sure nobody else will. Nobody else personalized. So I'm like upfront about that. You understand? I'm like, okay, you're making a mistake if you hire somebody else. I am the person for you. And then you think maybe some people will be like, oh, who does this guy think he is? But mostly they are amazed by it more than they are repulsed. Yeah, I guess. So I reach out to them on LinkedIn. Sometimes I reach out on through email. I connect to them. Sometimes even Twitter. I don't have a Twitter account, but I don't know, sometimes Twitter always blocks my account. But if there's a client I know that is active on Twitter, I'll just create a Twitter account on the spot, put a picture, blah. I don't need to post anything. Reach out to the client, say, okay, see, just check out my proposal. Just check out you understand? Because I know I can do this exactly. And then most times because for the past 10.
So they now go back to Upwork looking for your proposal specifically.
For you, exactly.
I see.
Even if they've not seen it before, they'll be like, "Who the fuck is this guy?" Yeah, sort of thing, exactly. And it works. It works because the past 12 jobs I've pitched, I got all 12, and that is I'm talking over the past 2 years. Means that I've gotten every single job I've pitched for over the past 2 years. And even if you are new, you're a new freelancer, I will tell you about a freelancer that I worked with. Now I do not mentor. I don't do that yet. But I've helped. I've mentored a few people. I just don't have the time for it as much. Exactly. So one of the first persons I mentored, she had zero skill. I taught her a bit on cold email copywriting, email writing. And she used this exact same. Now I think this is something I told you the last time. I don't know if it was in the last part. But there were over 100 pitches on this job. They hired only 3 people, right? And out of the 3 people they hired me. They hired the girl I pitched for, and then they hired somebody else from the Philippines. Now, when that happens, you know, okay, this is not a coincidence. This works. You understand? And then this job wasn't even a small. Like you do this for this job paid this girl. This was her first. She just graduated from Masscom in Abuja. This was her first ever foray into the whole thing, and he paid her 1.2 million for the next 8 months.
Crazy.
Exactly, for your first time. That's just
crazy.
That's amazing. Exactly. And it was like. When I pitched for her, because we were on a video call, we pitched for our job together. It was even after I pitched and before I even went to go and pitch my own, although I charged more. So we put it there. I was like, because something else you want to put if you're new on Upwork, you say something like I'm new on Upwork, and I'm looking for opportunities, you understand, to establish myself on this platform. Looking forward to your response.
So okay, so you add it to your
You add it there. If
proposal.
you're new, you understand? Exactly. Just be upfront with it. If you've worked outside Upwork, you understand, but then this is your first time on Upwork, you can say, I'm new on Upwork, but this isn't my, you understand, but I'm not new to copywriting, or I'm not new to designing, you understand, or I'm not a novice, but I'm just looking for a way to establish myself on this platform. And then, so that's what I did for her. And out of over 100 people pitched for the job, they chose 3. And 2 pitched the way I pitched. So that's just it. It's not a mistake. It's not a flunk. It's not a coincidence. It works. It works because if you put in the extra effort, then you can always expect good things. Honestly.
I see. So you come in, you start pitching. How about pricing? How do you price yourself as a freelancer?
Okay, well, I think
because some people just come in and put $100 per hour.
I think. Yeah, I've seen people like that. I think when I started with $5 or $7 per hour. Okay. You understand? And then for some of, and then it grows, and then it depends on now what I do. What I do personally is for every new course I take. And now this is something. Take courses, which is very, very important. I take courses. I was taking a course yesterday. I'm still going to take course. I take course every weekend, and I've been doing this for over 3 years now.
Oh, nice.
Exactly. So what I do is, for every course I complete, I increase my price. Even though it's just by $3, even though it's just by $5. But for every course I complete, I increase my price. So it doesn't matter how much I buy the course. I know I'm going to get my money back. You understand? So I think I started around $5 per hour. And then for some of my services, I think if you check me on Upwork, you see one where I charge $20 and you see one where I charge $50 per hour. And so that's it for me. And I just, if you are like, okay, who would pay somebody $50 per hour to work? They will. That's just the thing you need to do.
So what would be your somebody's coming in, the person wants to price himself, the person's a newbie.
If you're a newbie right now in this economy, start with $10 per hour. Okay. Start with $10 per hour. Don't go as low as I did here. Let's just say it's about shortening that growth curve, right? I went low back then, so you won't go low now. Maybe start with $10 per hour. I think that's the first start.
So you said that over the last 2 years you have pitched for 12 jobs and you've gotten all 12 of them.
Every single one of them.
It looks like you don't pitch a lot.
No, I don't pitch a lot.
So what is your science of retaining these gigs over time?
Okay, so the first thing I do, because every single person I'm working with right now, the last time, I pitched on Upwork recently, but that was because it was an invite from a previous client who actually reached out to me personally first and was like, reach out to me through WhatsApp. I was like, okay, see, I dropped a job and all the pitches I'm getting, please, do you have time? And then I was like, okay, I'll check it out. And then he invited me on the job. So that was like a difference. So that was what I pitched recently. And then the chief marketing officer role, but then before then, the last time I pitched was last year, July. Exactly. Before I pitched twice last month. I pitched twice last month. But then before last month, the last time I pitched was last year, July. And this is because now when I start working, the first thing I do is I over-deliver on the work you actually brought to me. You're like, okay, this is what I want to do. But then from the moment I have access to your company, I am already looking for ways to improve. I'm already looking for ways that you've not thought of yet. To be like, okay, yes, let's do this instead. Like one of the companies I'm working with, what they do is they get their clients mostly through Facebook and other ways. And then they've never used LinkedIn. And then LinkedIn was something that I have sort of experience in. And then I told them, okay, see, let me help you use LinkedIn. You understand? So I optimized his LinkedIn profile, and then we started doing outbound. And I think I told you, in 6 days, I think it was 9 days. Sorry, 9 days after opening, this guy didn't even have LinkedIn profile. 9 days after opening the profile, we got a $10,000 sale.
No.
Yeah, exactly. So this was. Now that's how you make yourself. You can't be forgotten. Understand? Always make sure. Okay, and that's why I like to improve. I like to take more courses. I like to, you understand, learn more things, because as I'm learning more things, I'm seeing other ways in which I can help this company. You understand, achieve more. So one thing you want to do first, the job that you are given, overdo. And that's just the truth.
That's like a mantra, overdo.
That's like my mantra, overdo. It doesn't matter if it's not paying you enough yet, right? It doesn't matter if it's not paying you enough yet. But what I would say is overdo. Like for the job I said I pitched last year, July, which was the same job the girl I mentored then pitched. So the person they hired from the Philippines, because if you're not getting results, then you understand exactly. So they're not getting results from our work. Let me just put it like that. And then they fired her. So it was just me left with the girl. But then one thing, what they noticed was the girl I was mentoring, I saw were looking very, very similar to my own. Like what she was writing were looking very, very similar to my own. So they brought it up on a call, because what they did not know is that every single thing she was delivering, I was editing. Exactly. So they brought it up on a call, and that's when they found out that, oh, I was actually mentoring this girl, or this was somebody I was mentoring, and they were amazed. They were like, oh, that's very, very impressive. So they were like, okay, see, can you now don't just do it for free, we'll pay you to edit this girl's work.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, which is crazy, right? So from that moment, they started paying me to edit her work. They paid me to edit her work till our contract expired. Now, she stopped working with the company last year, I think. But it's been, last year, July, it's been over a year now, and I'm still with the company.
Oh, really? You're still with them?
I'm still with them. Because after that, they were like, okay, we have something else. Are you interested? Yeah, well, what else am I doing?
You didn't come to this place to count bridge.
Exactly. And they paid well, so I'm still with the company till now. Yeah. Before I came here, I did some work for them.
Oh.
Before I came for this podcast. So, yeah.
I'm curious. Let's talk numbers. How much does the company pay?
They pay well. I don't know if I'm a very big, Port Harcourt is a place. Port Harcourt is a place, let me just call it, yeah. They pay very well. Let me just put it like that.
Very well.
They pay me very well, yeah.
I see. How are you able to juggle working for like different brands and all that? How do you manage your time?
I work a lot, to be very honest, because honestly, the first thing I do, I wake up early. The first thing I do when I wake up is mostly I work. It's the last thing I do before I sleep. But then, honestly, I think it's still something I'm figuring out. Like we learn every day. It's still something I'm figuring out, because, like I said, there's a new job that I'm starting again today. How I'm going to manage it. But what I do is now I only stay with companies that value me. Right? If it's a company that is giving me a headache, I'm like, oh well, nah, understand. But I look at my options, and then I'm like, okay, now it doesn't matter if this one pays more. Which of these companies do I have better future prospects with? Now I'm not saying that in the future they'll pay me well. I'm just obviously, although that's an option. Yeah. But what I'm saying is that this on my portfolio would give me a better job in the future. Or a higher paying job in the future, or I have opportunities of, you understand, that sort of thing. So I look at that and then I prioritize that. But roughly, I think, honestly, I'll be very honest with you, if you're a freelance, if you really, really want to make money and plan for the long term, I do think you need to work like you're working 9 to 5, at least when you start. You do need to work like you're working 9 to 5, because I work like I work 9 to 5. And then I try to just balance it.
You know, at the end of the day, we work more than 9 to 5.
Actually, that's true. At the end of the day,
I don't do 9 to 5. You find out that what you are doing is like 9 to 11 or
exactly.
9 to 12 a.m.
8 to 12 a.m. actually.
Like, bro.
Yeah. So which is actually very, very true. You find yourself working 10 to 12 hours.
So if your motivation really is that I want to dish 9 to 5. I want to be free with my time. This is probably not for you.
Exactly, not for you. Maybe that's something you'll be able to achieve in the future.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like right now, I have more control over my time than I did back then. But then, if you look at it, if you have a 9 to 5, probably in, I don't know what a typical 9 to 5. Maybe let's say use maybe bankers or whatever, for example. Let's say maybe they pay 200, 300,000, which is fair enough, I guess. But when you're doing my own 9 to 5, and then you get to earn 3 million each month, then you see the difference, and then you're like,
you're motivated.
Exactly, you're motivated. The money motivates you. The money motivates you. So yeah, it's like you can jump from that 9 to 5 to this 9 to 5, but then
this is a 9 to 5,
9 to 5. As long as you keep improving yourself.
How do you accept payments?
I accept payments through you can either use PayPal or you use Payoneer.
PayPal?
Yeah, also
PayPal? Did you say PayPal?
yeah, I had this issue with PayPal too. PayPal has held my money a couple of times.
Please don't use PayPal, guys. Don't try it.
But there's give me an attack back then when I was still hustling.
I mean, they are. I don't know, but PayPal is just somehow to Africans. It's crazy.
Is. So I think back then what I used to do was, now the problem with Upwork is Upwork takes 10 to 20% of your money. But then if you do Upwork direct contract, which is some it's like, even if you don't use Upwork as a freelancer, open an Upwork account. Now this is the smart thing. PayPal takes 4%, right? Let's even say you're using PayPal or whatever platform you're using. Upwork their direct contract takes 3%. Now I can get paid through Upwork direct contract at 3%. And you can either withdraw directly to your bank account, which I do not advise because you get it at normal bank rate, or I withdraw to GeekPay. You can check GEEGPAY or Grey, GREY.co.
Oh, Grey.
Yeah.
Oh,
so
nice.
you can either use Grey or you use GeekPay. So I can withdraw to GeekPay. If I withdraw to GeekPay, it enters the next day, 24 hours. And then from GeekPay, I'm able to withdraw it automatically, immediately to my Nigerian bank account at Aboki rate.
With Aboki's rate.
Right now, I think it's 1,001 something.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, so that's how I get paid. Before I tried Payoneer, it worked for a while. I used PayPal. PayPal kept holding my money.
Please, I don't recommend.
PayPal kept, because I opened a Dubai PayPal.
Yeah, I have a Dubai PayPal as well.
I opened a Dubai PayPal.
So even that Dubai PayPal, they hold money too?
They owe my money.
Oh, wow. I should go and withdraw the funds I have there.
It worked for a while. But then sometimes they can just spark and then like hold your money.
Yeah.
And then I've heard of people that they don't refund, they don't return, because if you read their terms and Nigerians will never read terms and conditions. So if you read their terms and conditions,
That's too long.
Yeah, it's too long, exactly.
Accept.
Yeah.
And then it's not like you have a choice. You have to accept it. That
Exactly.
I tell myself that. So after reading this thing now, you say you accept and we never accept them. It's good to read. Better, please read terms and conditions. I'm just saying that you don't have a choice after you read it. It's just for you to know what it entails. You will still accept them.
Exactly. So Dubai PayPal, it worked for a bit, and then sometimes it's just hold my money, boom. And then sometimes it's not release the money for like a month, which is crazy. Exactly. And then how will you call? You cannot call their customer care. Exactly. Maybe you have to start emailing and blah blah blah. Although what I did was, if you have somebody in the UK or if you have somebody in the US, because when I was in the UK, what I did was I bought a lot of SIMs. And then I reached out to my people here. Okay, if you need PayPal, right? Like all the freelancers that I've worked with. And then what I did was I bought a SIM for each of them. I got a SIM for each of them, and then I opened PayPal, and some of them are still using it till now.
Oh, I see.
So that was something I did when I was in the UK. But since I came back, so unless if you have something.
So you still have your UK PayPal?
Yeah.
Now that works well.
That works well.
Oh,
I do not use it.
Okay.
I do not use it, but the other people I opened for use it.
Why don't you use it? Why exactly don't you use it?
PayPal PTSD. PayPal PTSD.
We don't want to hear that.
Yeah.
Something happened,
exactly.
and our money that we worked hard for is missing.
Exactly. So PayPal PTSD. The issues that I had with that Dubai PayPal will not just give me peace of mind, but for the others that were using it has been working perfectly for them. So what they do is they withdraw to PayPal.
Okay.
I think they withdraw from PayPal to Payoneer, then from Payoneer to Grey or GeekPay, and then from there they withdraw. It's just that when you are sending to all these platforms, they start deducting your money. Yeah. When you can just use one or two. So that's how I get paid. If you know any better option, please just comment. I'll check the comments.
So right now it's GeekPay and Grey.
GeekPay and Grey. Yeah.
Okay, I have a Grey affiliate link, guys. It's gonna be in the description. Please go and click it and use Grey. I use Grey. My friend uses Grey as well, and they've been pretty. This is not a paid ad, but they've been pretty solid. Yeah,
and the thing is, Grey pays. Like if I withdraw from Upwork to Grey right now, I get the money almost immediately. Yeah, I get the money in like less than an hour. GeekPay is 24 hours.
So, have you ever been scammed on Upwork before? I've heard stories of people doing jobs and they don't end up getting paid for it.
Yeah, it has happened to me once. One thing is, Upwork is great and all, but their customer service isn't all that good. Yeah. So I remember there was this one time I got this job. Back then, it was just supposed to be a 2 days job.
Okay.
No, actually, it was supposed to be a 1 day job.
Okay.
It was just 24 hours delivery, right? 24 hours delivery, I think was maybe $150, $200. I honestly cannot remember the price. But what pained me most about the job was because I did not have the time for it. So I pitched for the job, I accepted the job, and then I paid somebody to do the job. I paid somebody 100,000 to do to do the job, and then I paid the person finished the job, I submitted the job. No, sorry, I think I was supposed to get 100,000 from the job, and I paid 50,000 or something. Yeah, and then the person delivered the job, I paid the person, so I submitted and all. I edited, submitted, and I did not hear back from the freelancer. And then when it was time to get paid, and then I saw this notification about maybe the guy removed his credit card details from Upwork, and that was it. That was more or less it. So yes, I have been scammed once.
So what did you learn from that, and how have you been able to navigate it going forward?
I think the thing with that particular client was I actually did not find the client did not even have a LinkedIn account. The client did not have an established site. I think the client got a job from somewhere else
and brought it to Upwork. And then you did it, and the person escaped.
And the person just escaped and all. So I think that was what happened. So right now, if you don't have an established presence, I will not even think of it. I'll not think of working with you. Yeah. So that's just it, more or less. Although there's something else Upwork does, which is payments verified. But even this guy, his payments was verified, and yet it was still the same. Because what payments verified? Because I've also hired people from Upwork before.
Okay.
What payments verified means is you've put in a credit card detail or an ATM card or whatever that has money needs to pay for the job. But it's until you submit before Upwork removes it from your account. So this guy, immediately I actually sent it to him. I did not submit. My mistake was I should have just submitted. But I sent it to him for edit. So as I sent it to him for edit, my guy removed his credit card details and he did not reply me till now.
Wow.
Yeah, I looked for him everywhere and I was like, if it's I did the job myself, that would have been fine. But then
you had to pay somebody else.
So I was like, I even lost my own money and my time. Well, it happens.
Wow.
Yeah.
So in your 3 years of doing freelancing and Upwork and all that, what would you say you have learned so far to guide people as by using the platform, basically?
Number one, I think the first thing I would say is 95% of freelancers are lazy. Very. I don't mean this. I actually mean this in a bad way, I guess. I think they never want to take the extra effort. But if you want to achieve growth like you've never seen before, then I promise you, you just take the extra effort. You don't have to be very good, because the truth is, imposter syndrome will always hook you. When I got my first job, I was like, can I actually deliver this right? I actually had imposter syndrome where I felt like I was a scam, I was fake.
I mean, my friend Salem King has this thought about imposter syndrome, and I think it's absolutely amazing, right? It says like this: imposter syndrome is a high quality problem, and the only reason why you feel like an imposter, first of all, is because you are in that position, you have the opportunity.
Exactly.
If you did not get the gig with that kind of high amount, you will not feel like it. So first off, is a high.
Exactly.
So just agree that you're in that place first where you can feel like you're an imposter. And I don't think we ever outgrow that thing. You never. You have to learn to live with it. Of course.
Exactly.
It
shows you're growing.
It's a good problem that shows you're growing.
It's a good problem. It shows you're growing. Exactly. So, regardless of imposter syndrome, I forgot the main point I was trying to make. But I guess.
Yeah, you said that a lot of freelancers on Upwork are lazy.
Okay, like I was saying, a lot of freelancers are lazy. It doesn't matter. Just take the extra effort. You understand? Go on LinkedIn, search this person out, send a connection request. It doesn't matter. See, honestly, it will take you 30 minutes. And this is the crazy thing is generally they'll say if you want to pitch for a job, make sure the job is maybe less than 5 proposals, blah blah. So the client is going to see your job. Now I've pitched for jobs that already had 100 proposals, and I still get them. Now there are sometimes I'll pitch for jobs. Now currently they are less than 5. And before I'm done pitching, it's already over 100, or it's already over 50. Now, what does that mean? It means all of them every other person have just.
So, a lot of people are just submitting templates and just doing anything.
And then sometimes, honestly, there are times, even till now, I've been doing this for 3 years, and there are times, even till now, where I spend 30-45 minutes pitching for a job. An hour pitching for a job. But then the thing is, I'll get it.
All right, great. So, a lot of freelancers are lazy. The way to stand out is to go the extra mile, to overdo, like you call it. What else would you say you have learned that has helped you thrive on the platform?
I think something else I would say is always try to make one-time projects into long-term partnerships. So something I used to do.
Can you repeat that?
Always try to make one-time projects into long-term partnerships.
Okay.
So now, something I used to do is, so let's say I've worked for a client maybe like a year ago,
Okay.
right? Maybe all the clients I've worked with last year right now. Like if let's even say I'm down in the dumps right now and I want jobs and I don't have any job. Now all I need to do is message all my previous clients. I just checking in how his business, blah blah blah, and from that you just maybe one or two pop up and be like, oh yeah, there's this thing I'm working on. I don't know if it's something you're interested in. I don't have another job, that sort of thing. So one thing I do is I don't reach out like I'm reaching out for a job like, oh help me, that sort of thing. Exactly. I can just reach out and just be like, how's it going? How's business? Just ask them genuinely, you understand? And then from there you get job opportunities. And then something else is it's very easy as a freelancer to try to get depressed sometimes because your mental health. Because the truth is, you can make millions for months. You can make millions for 8-10 months, and then boom, the job is over.
Job is gone. Yeah.
Right? You get what I'm trying to say? Exactly. So, I think one thing I always believe is just trust the process. Right? If you know it works already, you understand. You know it's not a fluke. You know it's not luck. You understand? You worked for this, you understand? So all you just have to do is trust the process. It doesn't matter if 4 months you don't have work.
Yeah, and I like to also say that money management, financial intelligence is key.
Yeah.
So I mean, if you are making millions in months and then you don't have a job for 4 months and then you're down to zero, that says a lot about you. That says a lot about the kind of person you are. I think you're a very callous person if that happens. We're making millions for months and then 4 months in a row, no job, and then you go totally broke. That shows that you don't know how to manage money properly. So as you start making money as a freelancer, you get educated. I mean, educated financially. How can I manage my money better? How can I save money better? Should I save money in dollars? Should I save money in USDT? How can I curtail my spending? Because at the end of the day, you want to start making money. That's, especially for somebody that didn't grow up in a wealthy home,
it's very
that's challenge to show that you now have money to go on the spending spree, to start buying the most expensive stuff and all that, hoping that the next money in front is coming. That urge is there, but it doesn't make sense to me, guys. Learn how to save, because the money you save today is gonna save you tomorrow. You never know. And then this thing is, you're building for the long term. It's not a fling, right? So you're looking the next 10, 20 years. Nothing lasts forever.
True.
All right? So what you want to do is to be able to build a lot of leverage with the money you're making currently, such that you have something to fall back on. So that for me, a lot of things I do, like I was telling somebody the other day, high ticket closing for me is a means to an end. It's not the end. That's not where I want to end. So it's a way for me to stack the quid, to stack the cash, and do the things that I really want to do, to give me enough leverage to explore life and do the things I really want to do. So if I am making money from closing right now and then I'm eating everything up, that life will never happen for me.
True. You have to save.
And then I'm going to be stuck
exactly.
in that rat race, which doesn't make sense. So that's your second point.
I think that's the third point. But I'll hit on that a bit because it's one thing of as freelancers. I'm not saying you shouldn't go out and have your fun and blah blah blah, but you just be an inside person for now. At least, unless you're looking for that publicity, like make videos and stuff, or networking and stuff like that. Exactly, but. Mostly, I'm almost always inside. Where do I want to go to? I generally don't party. I generally don't. Exactly. I'm not saying you shouldn't do these things if it's who you are. Or like you said, just because the truth is, you might be like, okay, I'm surviving on 200k per month. Now, if I'm making 2 million, I'll save 1.5 million. I promise you, your expenses will grow. Your expenses will grow, but then you have to be smart. One thing I try to do is, I get paid weekly, which is another good thing about being a freelancer. Is aside from the fact that maybe one-time payments, blah blah blah, but generally I get paid weekly. So every week, as my money is coming in, I know what I'm putting aside for savings, which is very smart, right? I know I'm putting aside for savings. I have a date every month where I send my dad money. I know, okay, from the third week of every month, that's where I send my dad his monthly allowance. That's where I send my sister a monthly allowance. I have somebody who I pay, or I have somebody who I pay salary. So I know which week I pay him, and then I know, okay, yes, this is what I give myself. It might seem crazy, but I give myself an amount of money to spend every day. And it's not very okay. I only allow myself spend. I generally don't spend. Or so let's just say I allot myself to spend maybe like 20-30K in a day, which is still much. Which is still
that's
much.
the problem of the rich.
You say that's the problem of the rich.
That's like 150K per week.
That 150K per week. So I only allow myself to spend more. But generally, to be honest, I generally don't even spend.
Yeah, most
that
times you
much.
won't go.
I generally
You
don't
won't
spend
go that much.
But I'm just like, no matter what, today Monday I know you spend past 20-30K. Which some people will be like, oh, that's a lot. But I guess I don't spend that much on almost everybody. Yeah, I guess.
Got it. So, guys, if you want to be successful on Upwork, any freelancing platform at all, make sure that you apply everything that we have talked about here. One last word before we go.
One last word. I think I said it in the part one. I would say have a backup. Should I say have somebody who is willing to push you, because like I said, it's a lonely road. To be very honest.
Lonely at the top.
It's lonely at the top because if you do what everybody else is doing, then you'll be where everybody else is. You understand? You get to the exact same, but then you have to be different, because that's the only way you can achieve different things. There's this Olamide song that I like, something like Tobashi Ekaette everybody in share, because I speak Yoruba. But yeah, if you want to be different, then you cannot do
that. Was so slick, by the way. For somebody that is acquirable, that was so slick.
Yeah, I speak Yoruba fluently. But if you have to do something different, and then it gets very, very lonely. So, but if you have somebody who you're pushing the person is pushing you. Sometimes you push yourself too. Sometimes you have to push yourself, because you understand we're human beings. But you cannot do what everybody else is doing. You cannot spend hours just, you understand, scrolling aimlessly. You cannot spend, because you get paid by the hour. Why waste it?
Yeah.
I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
So yeah, I guess that's my last words.
Beautiful. Thank you once again, Messiah, for doing this. Thank you for not holding back. I mean, people literally charge for this thing, but you came here and you spit it off for free. Thank you very much. I really hope that you guys have learned a lot. I hope that more than learning, you're going to implement what you learn. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Now, we've noticed that around 80% of people that watch these videos don't subscribe. We've noticed that, and please help us. We want to maybe take it up to like maybe 50-40%. Okay, so we'll have like 60% of the people that come subscribing and all that. I even take it up to maybe 80% of people who come subscribe. Just go ahead and subscribe to this channel now. Leave a comment, like the video. All right, because at the end of the day, the more we grow here, the bigger our guest profiles get. Okay, so let's keep growing as a community. We are 4,000 now as at the time I'm recording this video. I hope to see us at 10,000 soon, and then we keep going up and up and up. Thank you very much once again. I'll see you in the next episode. Take care of yourself, everybody, and bye-bye. Cheers.